Welcome everybody to Forza Motorsport 7, and today we're taking a look at the 1960 Aston Martin DB4 GT Zagato. Now this is a car that is based on a standard DB4 GT but was lightened and improved by coach building company Zagato, while the body was designed by Cole Spada. And yeah, basically it's a more powerful and lighter version of that DB4 GT. And yeah, quite frankly I think it's a beautiful looking car, quite frankly. You can certainly see the styling cues that were carried forward into later Aston Martins, especially those round headlights and that grille. And yeah, quite frankly it's a car that I've been wanting on a Forza game since the car was ever first introduced into the series way back with Forza Motorsport 4. And yeah, highly pleased that it's actually now finally in a newer game. So yeah, like I said, more powerful and lighter. Actually weighs 100 pounds less than the standard DB4 GT. And yeah, also more powerful, and that's thanks to its engine, which is a pretty powerful one, to be honest, for the time. It's a 3.7 litre inline 6 engine, and it produces 314 horsepower and 278 pounds-feet of torque, which might not sound all that much considering about cars today, especially from Aston Martin as well. But when you consider it only weighs 2,701 pounds, then you've got a lot of power in a car that doesn't weigh all that much whatsoever. And because it's more aerodynamic than the standard DB4, it's also got higher top speed, and yeah, it's also more stable at those high top speeds as well. And as you can see, it's lacking very few amenities. It's got no bumpers. All of the majority of the steel components were replaced by aluminium. And yeah, interior wise there's very little as well. There's no back seats, there's no carpets, there's no indoor inlays. It's even got a roll cage, and yeah, it's very sparse in every other regard as well. All you got is a heater, a clock, and your ignition obviously, and plenty of dials, because this was a car that was raced as well. It raced at Le Mans, for instance. So yeah, very race orientated in terms of how it's been produced. And yeah, unfortunately though, they didn't make all that many. They predicted to make around 25 of these cars, but only 20 were ever produced. So extremely rare car, and yeah, easily one of the rarest cars on this game. But nonetheless, we're going to take it out onto a racetrack, because like I said, it is a race orientated vehicle, and see exactly what this vehicle can do. So yeah, see you when we get there. Right, so we're at Silverstone. Thought I'd go on a British track for a British racing car, or at least a road going racing car, and yeah, let's see what it can do. So it's not got the best launch in the world, but more than makes up for it as it progresses through the gears. And yeah, this car's an absolute joy to drive. In fact, it's as much of a joy to drive as it is to look at, quite frankly. Which, considering how old this car is, you know, 57 years old, is a big surprise, because, you know, most cars from this era don't handle all that well, and certainly aren't all that quick. It's only really the you know, the proper full-on race cars that were all that quick and all that enjoyable, quite frankly. And yeah, this car has aged quite well, quite frankly, not just in terms of looks, but in terms of what it can do. And yeah, that's proven by the acceleration times. 0 to 60, 6 seconds, 0 to 100 in 15 seconds, and it goes on to a top speed of 173 miles an hour, which is not all too shabby, and quite frankly that's quicker than plenty of other sports cars from today. So yeah, not too bad at all in that regards. And yeah, if you compare it to the DB5, which eventually replaced the DB4, I personally prefer this car. No, it doesn't have the you know, movie legend kind of, you know, background like the DB5, thanks to being featured in James Bond films, but apart from that, this car is better in every way. It's quicker in terms of acceleration by about 2 seconds in terms of 0 to 60 time. It's quicker in terms of top speed, because that car can do about 140, 143 thereabouts. So it's got that going for it, and because this car weighs about 500 pounds less, the archaic suspension really isn't, you know, pushed to the limit. Because no, it's not got the most sophisticated air suspension, etc. like that, or brakes or anything like that really. But because it weighs so little, it's not really putting those elements to the test. Whereas that DB5, if you've ever driven that car on a game, it rolls around quite a lot. And yeah, really isn't all that great in terms of handling. Now don't get me wrong, I really do like the DB5, but compared to this, it's lacking in some areas. And I full well know that this is obviously a rare, you know, very limited run, and maybe the DB5 is better than the standard DB4, but this is better than both, quite frankly. And yeah, really glad that they've put this in the game. It makes me want more Zagato orientated Aston Martins, quite frankly. I'd love the V8 Zagato and the DB7 Zagato, because they are two excellent cars as well. Great looking cars, powerful cars, and yeah, plenty going for them in other regards as well. So yeah, highly pleased that this is in the game. Highly recommend trying it out. It's not actually all that expensive for such a rare car. I imagine if this was on a previous older Forza game, it'd be several million, but luckily this game has more reasonable prices. It's only 200,000 credits, I think. So yeah, extremely good price for a car that is extremely good, and yeah, easily one of my favourites in the game. And if you saw that Forza Motorsport 4 video that I did, where I listed 10 of my cars I wanted to come back from that game, this was at the top of that list. So yeah, you can imagine I am highly pleased that it's in the game. And yeah, I'm glad at least my top car came into the game, if not every other one. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.